What is going on, YouTube? This is the J, and I'm going to be letting you know that I'm going to be doing a debate right now on which game is better between Skyrim or Fallout 4. Or how about this? Elder Scrolls series versus the Fallout series, which in my case is going to be a better debate over that. So I'm going to do that in general. Okay, I'm going to start with my pros and cons on each of the games, and the final verdict will end up being the winner of which game do I prefer personally and which game do I recommend for you to play. Okay, to start things off, I personally like Fallout better than Skyrim. That's just my opinion. However, I do love the melee combat system in Skyrim hell of a lot better than the melee combat system in Fallout. But however, I'm gonna start with the combat. Okay, so yeah, Skyrim trumps over Fallout in the melee combat system. Like when you can use melee weapons in Fallout, yes. However, the melee weapons in Fallout are more interesting than the Elder Scroll weapons. I've only played Skyrim and Oblivion. Those are the only two Elder Scrolls games I've played. I haven't played Morrowind, but I heard that's a pretty good game too. I haven't beaten Oblivion and I haven't beaten Skyrim, but I've gotten further along on Skyrim to the point where I do know what I'm talking about. It's a really fun game. It's very addicting. I'm currently playing the Skyrim remastered version myself on Xbox One, modded. And I do love the mods on Skyrim better than the mods on Fallout 4. Because, I mean, you could just create a Bethesda account and then you can just use your account to add mods to your game. Because they have better graphic mods, which I use for Skyrim. Factions, personally, I like Fallout better when it comes to this. Storyline as well, Fallout I think has a better storyline than Elder Scrolls, because Elder Scrolls just goes off on things. Also, there is a theory that Fallout is a prequel to Skyrim. Yes, well, Elder Scrolls. Fallout's a prequel to the Elder Scrolls. It takes place before the First Era, and what gives it to that theory is radiation changes is what made the Argonians, the orcs, pretty much it's what made everything. Argonians, orcs, Khajiits are basically big-ass cats that talk, but over time, radiation levels decrease, but evolution increased. So yeah, that's just a good theory right there. Boom, I just solved it. Now you're all probably gonna say, Elder Scrolls has 2 moons on planet Nirn, and I'm gonna say that this game probably, the first Elder Scrolls era probably took place 65 million years before 65 million years after Fallout. Yep. Like how the dinosaurs, were extinct, is probably how far off Fallout is from the Elder Scrolls series. Proof: the experimental plant that you see in the Brotherhood of Steel airship, the Puigwin, you'll see a plant, it says the experimental plant, and that is none other than Nirnroot that you find in Skyrim. It just changes things, though, in the game. So I think Fallout takes place, and then the continents are different, obviously. It looks like a Pangea in Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls series. And, of course, continents come together. Continental shift. Boom. Then the moon in Elder Scrolls has 2 moons. Later comes over, just like how our moon kind of came over randomly. It was like an asteroid. But yeah, I don't want to go too deep in the theory. I want to talk about more of why I think Fallout's a better series to get into. Personally, I prefer using guns over bow any day. Yes, the guns are better than the bow. I mean, is that all you could really use in most of the Elder Scrolls games? A bow and a crossbow, really? Um, it's really fun using those bows, like for stealth kills, because it's silent. Nobody really knows. But then again, the NPCs are pretty good at being alerted in Skyrim. Okay, when I'm going to say Elder Scrolls, I'm going to be mentioning mostly Skyrim because I played Skyrim the most. I don't really remember much from Oblivion besides the the beginning part. So yeah, I really love the Stormcloaks, and I mean, but the Imperials, on the other hand, are just like, not as cool as Caesar's Legion from Fallout New Vegas. See, I haven't played Fallout 1 and 2, but I played 3, New Vegas, and 4, and I really love each and every one of those games. I really like New Vegas the best out of the 3 games that I played. However, the ending was a huge disappointment in Fallout New Vegas because you couldn't continue to play side missions after you beat the main game. So I was just like, okay, screw it, I'm not going to beat the game then. So that's what I did. Then yeah, Fallout has better characters in my personal opinion than Elder Scrolls. Because I mean, there's more characters that are much more rememberable, in my opinion, than there is in Elder Scrolls. It's pretty easy to forget the characters in Elder Scrolls, but you could still remember who they kind of are. But Fallout, on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, I know this guy, Caesar. Oh yeah, definitely know him. Yeah, it's just. Of course, people are going to be like, duh, Fallout has better weapons than Skyrim. It's more futuristic, post-apocalyptic. They got guns, yeah. I can't stand the people who debates that. Apparently, like, they think that the Skyrim universe can take on the Fallout universe. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? These are the Elder Scroll fantards, okay? This is what happens. The Fallout universe would easily kick Skyrim's universe's ass. Easily. It's like not even a battle. I mean, magic requires magicka, so eventually, and most of the mages in Skyrim most of them are nobles, and the only ones that are good are pretty rare to find. There is the Greybeard guys, however, eventually they're going to be put down. Yeah. I mean, how can they get... Like, for example, using a bow, I'd rather use a Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle that you can get in Fallout, in every Fallout game, over a bow. Because a bow, you can only shoot like 50 feet away. However, a Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle can shoot 150 yards away. And yes, yards are bigger than feet. 1 yard equals 3 feet. So 150 yards can really, really, really get you right there. Pew. And it's way more accurate because, you have a scope and pew. And I mean, it's better to use guns than freaking magic. Because magic takes time for it to get back up versus guns, you can just reload them. And what's good of a dragon going to do if they can just get nuked like this? Fat man! Then there's Deathclaws, yes. I mean, Deathclaws probably evolved into dragons. I don't know. But yeah, and you can listen to music. They have way better music in Fallout than they do in Skyrim. I mean, the only good music that I really love in Skyrim is da 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 dee da 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 da. The main menu song, and that's like really cool when you're fighting and you're having that music on. Is awesome. The lockpick system, I don't know. I don't really care about the lockpicking. They're both the same in my opinion. I think it's easier in Skyrim to lockpick though because of you don't need to have the right skill to just lockpick. Like, you know how they, like, in Fallout, where it requires you to have a certain amount of skill in order for you to even try to attempt to lockpick. Versus Skyrim, you can attempt to lockpick it even though you're not skilled enough to lockpick it. Perks wise, I really love Fallout perks a hell of a lot more than Skyrim perks. I do not really like the Skyrim perk system, to be honest. However, I do like the system of how your rank goes up on the abilities that you get, like the light armor, the heavy armor, the 2 swords, the 1 sword. And yes, people are saying, yeah, you can dual wield, but dual wielding sucks. I tell you that. Dual wielding really sucks in Skyrim. Because even though you have 2 swords, I always use a sword and a shield. I thought having 2 swords was awesome, but 1, it takes out more stamina whenever you're using 2 swords. 2, Bethesda hasn't made a system for you to block while you are holding 2 swords, looking like you're Kirito from SAO, because that's what my character feels like to me, even though he's more of a Jon Snow from Game of Thrones. I really love the setting of Skyrim. I like the medieval theme. However, I feel like the Fallout apocalyptic theme is more appealing to me. Well, it's post-apocalyptic because people are recovering from civilization, from the nukes that dropped after 250 years or so. I don't know how many years it's been. Over 200 years, I could say that. However, I hate getting radiated. That's the only thing I hate about Fallout. Radiation. I do love the creatures a hell of a lot more in Fallout than I do in Skyrim. They're much more memorable to me. As far as I know, yeah, armor-wise, Fallout, I really love the NCR riot gear. I love the NCR weaponry. The Brotherhood of Steel power armor is just so badass. I don't know. I don't think knight armor, steel armor can do anything to that. Yeah, and I don't think a bow can actually shoot a power armor. I don't even think you can. I was good one time when I was a young lad until I took an arrow to the knee. Funniest reference from Skyrim when you meet those people in Whiterun or character-wise though, the main characters that you play as, I really love being a Dragonborn. I love how your character is a Dragonborn. He can, like, whenever he kills a dragon, he absorbs their ability, which in my case is way more interesting than each of the characters in Fallout. So the character as you play as is more interesting in Skyrim than it is in Fallout, in my opinion. It's really cool learning the shouts in the game. However, I don't really use shouts as often as I just melee combat people. I just block, stab, block, and then yeah. So overall, if you want to get into a game, if you want to get into an Elder Scrolls game, play Skyrim. And if you want to get into a Fallout game, play 3, New Vegas, and 4. But let me know what your opinions are below. Go ahead, leave a comment, subscribe, leave a like. The reason why, before I end this video, the reason why I put this up, I haven't played Elder Scrolls Online. The reason why I haven't played that is because I have heard terrible reviews on Elder Scrolls Online. Let's pretend, yes, I watch Angry Joe Show, because, like, if I watch his reviews and then if he says the game sucked, then I automatically assume the game isn't worth picking up. Not only that, it's an MMO game, so you're playing online. I like how they just added Morrowind. However, they could have just